Absorption losses in optical link. Today we will talk about this topic. We are continuing our discussion on optical link, optical communication system, where we know that the signal travels in the form of light, and when signal travels through the fiber cable, there are different factors that affect, that cause signal loss, due to which signal degradation takes place. Some power of the signal is lost, and there are many factors. In the last lecture, we have discussed about what are different propagation losses in optical link. It includes scattering, absorption, bending, splicing, connecting point. There are losses. There are different factors which are involved, which altogether causes losses in the fiber cable. But this lecture will focus on absorption losses only. The signal which travels in the form of light, some component, some part of light is absorbed due to some phenomena called as absorption. So if you see this picture, this diagram is very, very interesting, which highlights all possible factors. If you can see, there is an input light which attempts to enter through a cable. The yellow color is the core, and outside material is cladding. And there are factors like impurities, absorption, scattering, heterogeneous structures, bending, splicing, are all the terms which are very relevant terms related to discussion on absorption losses. There are a number of losses due to which signal is attenuated. Signal gets attenuated. The amount of attenuation is also evaluated to find out how much signal loss has taken place. The losses may be due to intrinsic properties of the material as well as some extrinsic factors. And accordingly, we call them intrinsic and extrinsic losses. There are some other types of losses related to optical fiber, contributing to the link, loss, connection, bending, splicing. You can see here. So if you see all these points, like impurities are there. So inside the material, the core material where the light actually travels, there is some amount of impurity. What will happen? That impurity will absorb some amount of light. It may absorb. We don't know what nature of impurity it is. But if it is not pure glass, which it is supposed to be, that core material is supposed to be pure glass. But if it has some impurity, it will absorb some amount of light. That is one factor. Second, scattering. Again, due to some imperfection in the material composition, there will be some scattering of light. Rather than focusing a beam into a certain direction as a guided mode, it may scatter into 2-3 different paths, out of which one path will be main path, main lobe, and other lobes will be side lobes which are unwanted. And those unwanted modes or lobes will have some amount of energy from main lobe. So there is a transfer of energy. So when there is a transfer of energy from main lobe to side lobes, there is a power loss. Heterogeneous structure, you see here, The structures in the construction are not supposed to be like this, but somewhere the structure is heterogeneous due to joint or due to composition of material. The structure is not homogeneous, is inhomogeneous, heterogeneous. Then also it may cause some unwanted effect which may result loss, the propagation loss due to either scattering or absorption. You see the third factor, bending. In the last lecture, while introducing the propagation loss, we have seen there are two types of bending, micro bending and macro bending. When bending radius, bending curvature is less, it's micro. When the curvature is large, it's macro bending. So in both the bending, you see when signal is traveling in the form of light and suddenly that beam has to turn, beam has to follow a curvature. Of course, there might be some amount of loss in the light signal. So the bending also, because it may cause the deviation of the light signal when the cable is bending. So when there is any deviation, it means there is the possibility of loss. Then splicing, connecting, if you are connecting two fibers, if you are joining them with the help of splicers and connectors, when you are connecting two fibers, of course, a lot of expertise is required in optical communication system in order to connect the two fibers, join the two fibers, in order to divert the two fibers. But still, there remains a possibility. There remains probability of some amount of loss will happen due to splicing as well. So these are the major factors which affect the power loss, which causes the power loss, that includes impurity, absorption, scattering, inhomogeneity, bending, splicing are the major factors. Since the lecture is on absorption loss, let's focus on absorption loss. What do we mean by absorption loss? The absorption of signal is serious loss mechanism where the optical fiber, it occurs in optical fibers due to the presence of imperfections in the atomic structures of material. Number one, if there is imperfection in the atomic structure of the material with which or by which the fiber cable has been manufactured. So number one, imperfection in atomic structure of the material. Second factor is inherent intrinsic material properties. There may be some properties inherently in the material which may absorb some amount of light. And thirdly, some extrinsic material properties as well. So intrinsic material properties, extrinsic, that may include impurity, intrinsic material properties, and thirdly, imperfection in atomic structures. These are the major factors behind, these are the major sources of absorption loss, due to which some part of light will get absorbed and the effective power that would propagate would be lessened. So the imperfections may appear in atomic structure due to oxygen. Now, when we are talking about imperfections, we need to know what's the reason behind imperfection in the atomic structure. That may be due to the oxygen deficiencies and missing of certain molecules. The structure of atom, some certain molecules are not there. There is absence of certain molecules. Or more importantly, there is some deficiency of oxygen in the material. That will cause some deformation in the structure and manufacturing of the material. The composition and the manufacturing would not be proper if the atomic structure is imperfect, which will cause absorption losses. Diffusion of hydrogen molecules may also induce absorption. There is some diffusion of hydrogen molecules. But this contribution from imperfection is relatively small. Due to imperfection, due to the diffusion of hydrogen molecules is not very much, but yes, this is also one of the factors which can absorb some amount of light. Inherent intrinsic absorption is caused by basic fiber materials. Basic materials by which the fiber has been manufactured. So inherently there are some properties due to which some amount of light can absorb. Like silica fibers, it has low intrinsic material absorption, very low intrinsic material absorption, but the absorption is there. We cannot avoid absorption in silica fiber. We know that the silica fibers are mostly popularly used. They are mostly, used as a stable fiber materials. But in the silica fibers as well, there is some amount of absorption which is caused by vibration of silicon-oxygen bonding. There is some imbalance in the bonding between silicon and oxygen. When we talk about silica, means silicon dioxide, SiO2. So there is silicon and there is oxygen. So when the proper bonding is not there, when there is mismatch or imbalance in the bonding structure, that results absorption of signal. The interaction between these bonds, the bond between oxygen and silica, and the electromagnetic field of the output signal is the reason. Because if there is poor bonding, that poor bonding may interact with the neighboring electromagnetic interference, electromagnetic field. We know that light travels and light is considered as, guided wave, which is also equivalently considered as an electromagnetic, wave. Its equivalent mathematical expression is represented by electromagnetic field. So if there is any electromagnetic field that interacts with the poor bonding, so that will cause absorption. Presence of impurities in material leads to extrinsic absorption. There is intrinsic, which is due to inherent material properties. Extrinsic may be mainly due to some impurities caused by some extra electronic transition of metal impurity ions from one energy level to another. So when there is impurity, actually what happens? There is energy transfer from one material to other material. So if there is any amount of energy which is transferring, means there is power loss happening. And when there is power loss, the signal strength is degrading. Another reason is extrinsic absorption, which is the presence of hydroxyl ions in the fiber. Hydroxyl ions are present in the fiber. That also causes some amount of light absorption. If you can see this diagram, that how does absorption and scattering look like individually. Absorption, where you can see that some, the particular particles or beams are absorbed, and when you see that the beam which is actually coming, now if you see the strength of the beam, that has reduced. In scattering also, here due to some impurity or imperfection, the signal has scattered, and due to scattering, the main beam has been, the strength of main beam has been reduced, has been affected, is degraded. So silica fibers exhibit some intrinsic losses, as we have noted, although the losses are not very high, but there are losses. And whatever losses is there in silica fiber, that's due to infrared absorption and also due to relay scattering and unavoidable inhomogeneities of the glass. Due to some inhomogeneities, relay scattering also takes place, and also the infrared absorption. So infrared absorption, relay scattering due to inhomogeneities are the factors behind the losses, absorption losses in silica fiber. A glass, despite, when we choose a glass is supposed to be perfect, pure material, but the glass, despite having an amorphous nature or structure, it can never be completely optically homogeneous. The meaning is very, very difficult to obtain absolutely perfect glass. Even we try to manufacture under optimized fabrication conditions, but there remains some imperfection, there remains some inhomogeneity in the material that causes loss of signal. There may be additional intrinsic losses, extrinsic losses, or non-fabrication conditions that also affect the signal strength. When the light propagates through an optical fiber, a small percentage of light is lost through a number of mechanisms. Now the point is, how do we measure? How do we assess the attenuation, the loss, the amount of loss? How do we assess? So the attenuation is defined as the ratio of optical output from a fiber length to the optical power, like we calculate as minus 10 over L log of P input divided by P output and expressed in dB per kilometer. Obviously, when PIN by P output, we take logarithm, it is converted in dB. And when we divide by L, that is L is the length of the fiber over the signal is propagating. So the unit will be expressed in dB per kilometer, where P in is the input optical power and P out is the output optical power. We know that output optical power will be always less as compared to input optical power. So this will be larger than one quantity. So this will have some value multiplied by minus 10. So negative sign is there that indicates that this much loss will be there. This much signal loss will be there, expressed in dB per kilometer. The attenuation mechanisms which are causing loss are therefore very, very important while designing a fiber, while designing a optical fiber. What are the factors which may cause absorption in this particular material? So all possibilities, all factors which might cause absorption of light, absorption of signal are all taken into consideration while finalizing the design of a fiber. And taking all considerations, taking all factors into account, the design is accordingly finalized and made. Generally, the absorption occurs due to imperfections of the atomic structure, such as missing molecules like hydroxyl ions, high density cluster of atoms. Therefore, atomic structure imperfection is there, unnecessarily high density. We have noted this in the beginning, that imperfect atomic structure. So that will also cause absorption of light signal. And this actually is the major cause of signal loss in the optics. The attenuation is also defined, or the loss is also defined as a portion of attenuation that results from conversion of optical power into another energy form, such as heat. See, when there is signal attenuation, means signal strength is degrading, so there is power loss. So where is the loss going? Of course, whenever there is a loss, the signal loss will be converted equivalently into some other suitable energy. This is energy conservation principle. Energy can never be created nor be destroyed. So when the signal is there, when energy is there, when some amount of energy will be converted into other form, like heat. Absorption in optical fiber can be understood by using three important factors which we have discussed as imperfection in atomic structure, number one, intrinsic or basic fiber material properties, inherent fiber material properties, and thirdly, extrinsic fiber material properties. Probably most of the time, the extrinsic fiber material properties are the properties of impurities. Absorption is also induced by diffusion of hydrogen molecules into the fiber. Intrinsic absorption can be set some minimum value. We can obtain some minimum value irrespective of what best material we choose, but there will be some minimum value of absorption loss as intrinsic loss. Though we use pure glass, pure silica glass, and we also know that the intrinsic material absorption is very less, but there still remains some imperfection, some atomic structural imbalance, which causes light to degrade, the signal to degrade. In silica glass, the wavelengths of operation range from 700 to 1600 nanometer. Generally, when we use silica glass, the use of the range of silica glass, the wavelength where the silica glass performs is from 700 nanometer to 1600 nanometer. In this total span range of wavelength, there are two intrinsic absorption regions. The first region is ultraviolet region. When we talk about 700 to 1600, so one region is ultraviolet region, which is below 700, below 500 or 600 is that ultraviolet region. And the second region is infrared region. Infrared region is above 2000 nanometer wavelength. Ultraviolet. So there are two regions, ultraviolet and infrared. Ultraviolet below 400 nanometer. Second is above 2000 nanometer. There is a region called as infrared. So there are two intrinsic absorption regions nearby the range where the silica fiber is expected to perform well. The intrinsic absorption in the ultraviolet is caused by electronic. Now we talked about two portions, ultraviolet and infrared. So in ultraviolet is caused by electronic absorption bands. It occurs when a light particle means photon, interacts with electron and excites into a high energy level. When a light particle, it interacts with the electron, photon interacts with the electron, then the electron gets excited due to the inherent energy in the photon, and then it goes into the high energy level. In the silica glass, absorption is caused also by vibration of silicon oxygen bonding. So the interaction with electromagnetic field, which we have discussed, is the factor for the loss. The interaction between the vibrating bond and EM field causes the intrinsic distortion. So the light energy, when there is an interaction between electromagnetic field and the bonding between silica and that oxygen atoms, so the energy is transferred from the bonds to electromagnetic field. So what do we want is the energy must be confined within the material. When it is transferred to some electromagnetic field, there will be some loss. Metal impurities such as iron. What type of metal impurities are there? Iron, nickel, chromium are the impurities, impurity or metal impurities which are introduced into the fiber during fabrication, and that causes extrinsic absorption. Iron, nickel, chromium during the fabrication process may be introduced to some extent, but that's not the part of pure silica. That's not the part of glass. So that element is considered as extrinsic element. And if this element is responsible for some loss, it will be called as extrinsic absorption. It also occurs when hydroxyl ions OH minus are also introduced into the fiber. The extrinsic loss also occurs when hydroxyl ions are introduced into the fiber. There is one more point that water in the silica glass forms a silicon hydroxyl bond which has a fundamental absorption at 2700 nanometer. The harmonics or overtones of fundamental absorption occurs in the region of operation, that there are two regions. And the harmonics, when there is a presence of harmonics, the harmonics increase the possibility of extrinsic absorption, and at certain peaks, at certain peak values, extrinsic absorption may be observed. For example, 1383 nanometer, 1250 nanometer, 950 nanometer, because we know that from 700 to 16 nanometer, the silica fiber performs well. So from 700 to 1600 only you see here 1383, 1200, 1250, 950. There, the extrinsic loss will be observed when there is any external impurity present there in the material. So the amount of hydroxyl ion or hydroxyl ion based impurities which are present in a fiber must be very less, otherwise it creates a major challenge related to power loss. So it must be very less. It must be few parts per billion parts, right? If the amount of impurity is reduced, the amount of attenuation is also reduced. More is the impurity, more is the attenuation. Lesser is the impurity, lesser will be the attenuation. The absorption loss also depends on barrier thickness and skin depth, and is the same whether the field is electric, magnetic, or plane wave. In any wave, see, we talk about skin depth, the barrier thickness in context with magnetic wave and electromagnetic wave, plane wave. So that similar phenomenon is reported here also in case of the absorption loss in optical link. The skin depth, if there is any skin depth that results, that depends on barrier materials properties. In contrast to reflection loss, it's just opposite to reflection loss, which is nothing but absorption loss, and therefore some amount of loss will take place. The absorption losses are the major causes of losses during the transmission. When the photon interacts with the electron, we have studied, then the power is absorbed because the energy goes into the high energy level, high level, and that may be transferred as in the form of heat as well. The dispersion losses are also there, which are result of distortion of the optical signal. The dispersion, there are different types of dispersions which we may take separately in a subsequent lecture. The intermodal dispersion, especially when multimodal fiber is used, so there may be dispersion between the two modes. There may be intramodal and intermodal dispersion, which are reported as the dispersion in the fiber. Intramodal dispersion, what does it do? Intramodal dispersion causes pulse spreading in a single mode, because when we are talking about intra, means dispersion within the mode, so the single mode. Due to dispersion, the pulse widening happens. So see, when the light travels in the form of pulses, and when there is a pulse widening, there would be difficulty in synchronization. Because of refractive index, this problem may happen, and that may result some signal loss and some synchronization issues as well. The intermodal dispersion, which will take place in multimodal, that also broadens the pulses and causes propagation delay. I told you propagation delay is reported in the multimode fiber. This is one table that highlights a comparison of different amount of losses in different types of multimode and single mode fiber. A multimode 5125 micrometer fiber, the wavelength is 850. The fiber loss is 3.5 dB per kilometer. Per kilometer 3.5 dB, understand, is high amount of loss. In multimode, Again 850, 3.5 dB, 62.5, 125 micrometer. Single mode 9 micrometer, 1310 nanometer wavelength fiber, 0.4 dB kilometer per kilometer or 0.3 dB per kilometer. So what you can see that in a single mode, the absorption loss or the fiber loss is very less. There is one more diagram which we have included here that also depicts about interface between core and cladding. So sometimes when there is improper interface, whenever there is a fluctuation in the composition of the material, that will also cause distortion in the signal, that is power loss. Now the question is, we know that there is power loss, how to reduce it? We know that there is a propagation loss, how to reduce it? High quality cables can be used. We can use high quality cables. We can choose qualified connectors as much as possible, because wherever we join the fibers, we connect the two fibers, there is a possibility of loss. So expertise is required. Good quality of connection, good quality of connectors are required. Make sure that the cleanliness there is in the connectors when you are connecting 2 points, 2 connectors, 2 fibers with the help of connector. It must be clean. If there is any dirt or something, will cause impurity in the transmission, because will be injected to the core and that will cause difficulty. So that has to be taken care of. Choose the best route and methods to lay the fiber cables during the design of the construction. The routing, the different routes are to be chosen optimally so that we know that here bending is less, the possibility of impurity is less. That type of route and design can be chosen so that there is minimum amount of absorption loss. Select and form a qualified construction team to guarantee the quality of construction. Very important. When you are laying down the cables, when you are installing optical communication and cable, installation setup, expertise, qualified experts are needed. A small amount of mistake done by any of the technical member will cause a major challenge related to signal loss. Strengthen the protection work, because signal has to be protected from the optical electromagnetic field and all that, though we know that electromagnetic field does not affect the light transmission, but yes, there may be some transfer of energy which we have discussed in previous slide, especially when there is lightning. So lightning produces very powerful beam that may interfere with the original light traveling inside the cable. Electrical protection, anti-corrosion material, these are all used, and we try to reduce the propagation loss. In order to optimally design the fiber, there are some standards which are suggested by IEC. IEC is the International Electrotechnical Committee that suggests or recommends a number of standards and specifications for optical communication setup and installation and usage. That gives a standard for different insertion losses, fiber losses, about different patches, different cables. It introduces connector performance requirement for each grade of fiber patch cable. It guides end users and manufacturers. We can see the specification standards, and the users as well as the workers can refer to the standards and accordingly can install and lay down the cables. Like there is a standard named IEC 61753-1, attenuation of random meshed connectors. The insertion loss of meshed connectors are categorized in 4 different grades. Those grades are here. The grades are noted here as grade A, B, C, D. Random matting is there. So there are different grades based on what is maximum value of insertion loss and what is mean insertion loss. So this is, you see, if you talk about grade A, the mean value of insertion loss is less than or equal to 0.07 dB, whereas maximum possible insertion loss is lesser than or equal to 0.15 dB. And you can see the other mean and max insertion losses for different grades such as grade B, grade C, and grade D. There is one more material, there is one more material, standard fs.com. It provides a lot of guidelines and standards for the usage and design of fiber cables. So this offers band intensive fiber BIF based patch cables with ultra low insertion loss. In this standard, the loss will be extremely small. Bend radius, the standard for bend radius is given so that the performance is very high, so that the optical communication can be used for long haul communication system. As we can see that there is an insertion loss connector, right? This is example, and this is less than or equal to 0.12 dB. There is one more example where max bending loss, maximum bending curvature bending is allowed 7.5. And here the maximum bending in this particular case is 10 millimeters. So about bending, about performance, about ultra low losses, some specifications are given by fs.com. So overall, there are IEC standards, there are FS standards which are to be followed. Good technical expertise has to be used while designing, while deploying the optical communication system, especially installation of cables, optical links, installation of splicers and connectors. A lot of precautions are needed so that there is no degradation of signal loss. So let's summarize. This lecture is about the propagation loss, especially absorption losses in fiber optic cable. The light which travels through the core, some amount of light may be absorbed and there may be loss of signal strength, which is mainly of two types, intrinsic and extrinsic. Intrinsic may be due to inherent basic properties of the material. Imperfect atomic structure may cause some loss due to absorption. As far as extrinsic is concerned, some impurities may be there, and those impurities are present in the material will also absorb some amount of light, and there will be signal degradation and there will be signal loss. So the absorption loss is an important loss that has to be analyzed while designing and deploying the optical communication system, so that the accordingly routing the appropriate path, the appropriate architecture can be suggested as per the specifications which are suggested by IEC standard and fs.com standard. Keeping all these specification standards in mind, an appropriate design can be offered so that the absorption loss can be minimized. So that's all for this lecture. Thank you.